What's going on, everyone? This is Cadman Cycling. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. Back for stage 5 of Watopia. This stage is called High Life. We'll be doing the shorter ride today. So it's the category C ride, set up not in the same category as races usually are based on watts per kilogram, but just based on distance. So category C means we're doing the shortest ride of stage 5. This one will take us on the Whole Lotta Lava route for a total ride of about 17.1 kilometers with 190 meters of climbing. The key feature here is the climb up the volcano. So that's really the only elevation gain. It's a pretty flat ride out to the volcano. Then we'll go ahead and climb up it, and then we'll come back down. So the ride doesn't finish at the top of the volcano, but we get to enjoy the extra miles on the descent as well. My setup today is the Canyon Aeroad 2021 frame with the NV 3.4 wheel set. I stuck with my normal frame, but decided to switch out the wheel set to a more climbing-friendly wheel set. And I'm not pushing too hard here at the start. Really, overall goal of this race is to kind of take it easy, trying to keep it below 200 watts during this lead-in part, and really find a group and then see where I work from there. I'm kind of dealing with the rib issue and had a little bit of pain in my last ride that I really went all out. So decided to make this more of a tempo ride. I don't want to go all out. I want to start to work my way back to cycling, see where the legs are, but also don't want to hurt my injury or make it any worse. So trying to recover, but also get some miles in. I figured the best way to do that was kind of keep it around 200 watts for most of the ride. So I won't be doing any sprinting. I won't say I'm taking it easy, but trying to find something that's comfortable for me, something that's pushing me, but not too painful. So these rides are really perfect. There's just so many riders, about 250 here today, that no matter what pace you're going, there's always going to be a group with you. So whether you're an A rider racing this all the way at the front of the pack, whether you're someone new to Zwift, kind of taking your first ride, there's always other riders kind of at that same speed as you. So that makes these rides quite a bit of fun. So went ahead, skipped forward through the lead-in, starting lap 1 of 1 up the volcano climb at about the 5 kilometer mark now. So it has split up a bit. Found a nice group here sitting around 94th place. Again, not really treating this as a race, but will look kind of to see where I'm placing in the overall race. Have a nice group. I think that's the biggest part here, is just find a group to work with. It's always harder and slower to get along when you're all alone. So finding a good sized group really helps you push the pace without having to put out a whole lot of watts. So I found a group going pretty close to my speed, so deciding to stick with them as we start to make our way towards the volcano. So my Whoop score today wasn't that great, actually. So this was a Saturday morning ride with a really low Whoop score. I think it was in the 20s. I'll throw it up on the screen here. Really just due to sleep. I hadn't been doing any hard efforts the day before, so it wasn't because I had a lot of strain the day before. Just didn't sleep well Friday night, and then woke up to ride this one early. Not too early in the morning, but generally I enjoy the evening rides more. So low Whoop score. We'll see how that affects me during this race. Again, not going all out, so don't think it should hurt too bad, but just another factor. And I've really been enjoying the Whoop. It's such a great tracker that tells you how you're feeling. It's all based on really strain and recovery for the most part. So it does a really good job of predicting how you'll feel during rides and just throughout the day, but also finding patterns. So you can set it up to track a multitude of different things, like what time you're eating breakfast, the last meal of your day, things like that, to see how they affect how you feel the next day. So pretty cool, having fun with that. We'll go ahead and skip forward. We're at the 9.4 kilometer mark. We're on the volcano KOM now, I believe. So starting to go up. This volcano climb really isn't too bad. It averages just over 3.8 let's see, 3.2% for almost 4 kilometers, but not too steep until the last few hundred meters. So not the worst of climbs. And actually, when I first started Zwift, this Volcano climb route was my favorite route. It was a good way to get some elevation in while still being not too hard of a ride. And I really liked the distance. I think it was around, I want to say like 14 miles back when I was, I had my setup in imperial instead of metric. So I could be wrong there. It could have been 14 kilometers, but really enjoyed that ride when I first joined Zwift. So continuing to feel pretty good here. So starting to up the wattage a little bit as I'm moving my placing up to ribs felt all right as I took that easy start. Tried my best to keep the heart rate low. That's when they really started hurting, is when I start taking the deeper breaths. So as long as I kept my heart rate low, I'm feeling all right here. It's kind of interesting. End of March, we actually got hit with a snowstorm this weekend. So did 2 back-to-back rides on Zwift. So this one was Saturday morning. I'm recording this voiceover on Sunday. I actually just completed the standard ride, so that'll be my next video out in a couple days. Yeah, stuck inside for the time being with the end of winter. Kind of looking forward to getting outside pretty soon, though. Went ahead and skipped forward here. Now we're at the 11.1 kilometer mark. We see the banner up at the top. This is not the end of the ride, but the end of the climbing section before we get to enjoy the downhill for a bit. So this is the steepest part. I think we hit 11% up there for a little bit. Pushed it a little bit. So I was up out of the saddle. RPMs are low. Nothing crazy, but just to finish off the ride, we'll take a look on the left-hand side to see what my time was. I believe it was 9 minutes and 22 seconds. So pretty happy with that time. Again, it wasn't all out, but was with a group for the majority of the climb, so got the little bit of draft that was possible when going uphill, and was quite a bit better than a couple weeks ago when I did this climb. So overall happy with it. Still feeling pretty good, but heart rate's starting to get up there, so I'll have some time to recover on the downhill, see if I can super tuck it all, see if I can join a bit of a group. That's when you can really up the speeds on the downhill. So I'll go ahead and use that drafting boost, just make sure I can catch on with this group. I actually had a lot of fun with this ride. So both this ride and then the one I just finished today, much different than a race mentality. So races is kind of, you empty the tank, you really give it everything you can, and sometimes early on just to make sure that you can stick with the front group, and they can be painful for long periods of time. This one was much different. So, and maybe part of it was I was off camera as well, so got to relax a little bit more, but also just got to keep the heart rate low. So especially here as we're going downhill in the low 160s, is pretty enjoyable for me. So I got to kind of take some time and enjoy the surroundings more, even send a few chats as well. So when it's not all out all the time like a race is, it was kind of refreshing. So I'll say that. It was really one of the more fun rides that I've done on Zwift. These rides with almost 300 people in this one, just enjoying it. So not going all out, but definitely still pushing, still getting a good workout in. So overall, did have a lot of fun with this one. Felt good throughout the race. So I'm just trying to take advantage of the super tuck as much as possible on the downhill. Kind of sticking pretty well in the middle of this group as the heart rate's getting even lower, down to 150 beats per minute. Definitely would not see that in a race. So really enjoying where I'm at here. So went ahead, skipped forward. We're on the last kilometer now, getting towards the finish. Same group I'm in, actually moved up to 64th place. So a lot of times in races, especially when I hit climbs, I find myself going out hard and then getting dropped later on. Again, this was a bit more refreshing in terms of starting off slow, finding a group, but then catching people ahead of me. So kind of moving up throughout the race with just 0.7 kilometers here. We will end in the middle of the volcano. One thing that I'm avoiding for this ride, and probably rides for the near future, is an all-out sprint. My last ride kind of hurt when I hit the sprint and stood up is when the heart rate got up and ribs started hurting. So definitely don't want to do anything that would kind of set me back in my recovery. So I push it a little bit hard, but I'm not going to go all out for a sprint for let's say 60th place in a Tour of Watopia. Really focused on continuing to build that base, but also want to recover from this kind of mild injury that I have. Again, it wasn't too bad during this ride. It's just sometimes when I stand up out of the saddle is when it starts to hurt a little bit. So pushing a little bit. Again, it wasn't a huge group here, so a few riders went off the front there and sprinted as I get passed by someone else sprinting. But overall, like I said, really enjoyed this ride. This was a fun one. Just under 30 minutes, averaged about 200 watts. So that puts me right at about 2.6, 2.7 watts per kilogram. Not breaking any records for me, but still a decent effort. So had a lot of fun with it. Felt pretty good, but really enjoyed this ride. So guys, thanks for sticking in here. Had fun with this voiceover as well. So let me know what kind of videos you like. I know I do this voiceover here, but I also do some videos with camera. For the full race, I also have done some videos where I'm on camera and kind of cut in and out for some of the more important or exciting parts of rides and races. So I've done a mix of the three, but let me know what you enjoy. Definitely always trying to have fun with it, and I'll continue having fun in Zwift. I got to make up stage 3, so I'll have another stage 5 video out, and then I'll make up stage 3, but we'll continue making videos. We'll continue having fun with it. But guys, at least for now, thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for joining today. And until next time, this is Cadman Cycling. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.